Tonight's installment comes from this piece of paper, which ironically I have difficulty writing. No, I am not drunk, and I haven't drank for quite a while, and I slur as a person who drinks might, but no, I haven't been drinking for a while. Okay, so I'm just providing a visual. Um, oh, it helps to read it. I can actually read it better if I do this. Okay, so um, first joke up. What would you like for Christmas? For Christmas, I would like a world in which Christian churches weren't burnt down. So no, I shouldn't do this because you're tempted to read it. How about that? Sit around the fire. Uh, Sit on the old chair. Take a photo of your foot. Uh, yeah. So I'd prefer a world where Christian churches weren't burnt down, especially in the middle of a heat wave on Canada Day when there's like forest fires all over the place. So you catching my drift here? I don't. I haven't said and don't think. I don't think. I don't think that Aboriginal people burnt down BC. I don't think it was Aboriginal people that started those fires. And the funny thing is that they don't like nobody seems to care. They burnt down a church and desecrated stuff all over the place. The church is a sort of a metaphor for everything that's being destroyed all over the place. Um, but yeah, and I want to say this in a way that doesn't rise to the level of uh, what the lunatic left could argue was hate speech. Because if that happened, then I could be in legal trouble. Uh, Hate speech in the criminal code is almost impossible to persecute. I think it's too difficult. The people that I've seen charged with hate speech in Canada should have been shut up 15 years before they were. But what they've got is a different sort of standard with a human rights commission or something. You can get nailed for hate speech for um, well anything that they want to charge you. You've got no defense. The charge is the persecution. You have to defend yourself uh, to the extent that they'll allow you to. It could cost you money, and then in the end, they just do what they want to you, and it's usually a big fine. So I would rather not be fined for hate speech. So whoever this goes to, I'll ask you, please, uh, don't drag me into court and fine me $50,000. But um, honestly, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, the people who are going around that burnt down those churches, you can't say specifically, but just generally speaking, you suffer from a kind of moral, intellectual, psychological, spiritual, probably physical sort of pollution. And I would liken it to the pollution that flows down, that used to flow down a river beside my house, which was at one time considered the most polluted river in the world. And the main cause of the pollution was sewage from pig farms. And there were a lot of chemicals, varnishes and paint thinners and everything that you can imagine from a industrialized city lined with pig farms. You can imagine a city like that, right? Like you could literally smell it from a long ways away. And so I know this is a stressed out metaphor, but I can't help but see the connection, like the parallel. Because whatever the pollution is that runs through your soul, I think is similar. Because there's the paint thinner and varnishes and all that. That's just flat out pollution. Whatever sparked your mind to light fire to a church in the middle of a heat wave on Canada Day is a varnish. flat out pollution. But as with, and the thing is that I don't know, hate is a thing that I would hate. I would stop hating the people who did that the second that they lived up to it. That the thing about actually hating, a soul, it doesn't exist. I don't have it. I would, and I think most people like this. Admit what you did. Forgive. It will forgive you. Just admit it and promise not to do it again, and then we're good. I would look at like how in hell did you ever become so deranged as to light fire to a church in the middle of a hate wave? I want to know. I'd be compassionate. Just So the real hate thing, I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't think many people have it. But the pollution that's in your head is a little bit like the river, isn't it? Because while there's the paint thinner and the varnishes and all those things, there's also the sewage from the pig farm, which, natural and nutritious as it actually is to a lot of animals, also has a real sting to it. And so does a lot of what you think. You argue in favor of if you're a feminist, then you've not every feminist, but the general thing about feminism is that what they attack is the nuclear family because they think it's oppressive. Well, the problem with the nuclear family, from your point of view, or from my point of view, from any point of view, is that it provides the most natural, protective environment for children. It's impossible to get this back. It's gone. You've destroyed it. We've destroyed it. The society has destroyed it. And people who are lucky enough can stay together. There are some. But you've contributed to the breakdown of the nuclear family, and that's done more damage to children than anything. I mean, if you look at residential schools or something like that, residential schools are nothing in comparison to what you've done, not even in Canada. The residential schools were religious. This shit you're doing is religious. The savagery done in the residential schools, a lot of it was done by women. This is being done by women. Okay? It is. The educational system is run by women, and they're destroying children's minds. So I think that's a good place to leave that. Okay, the next joke is Michelle Obama is surprisingly articulate, and that's Joe Hogan. Okay, so the guy's name wasn't Joe Hogan. It's probably not even precisely what he said, but it's kind of what he said. And I know it's what he said because probably one of the most insightful, talented, and I've been rehearsing this one, insightful, talented, perceptive, deranged political commentarians in history. Put all those things together, and what you've got yourself: brilliant, deranged, insightful, courageous, crazy political commentarians is a man named Gavin McInnes, accidental founder of the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys, he went to a stage play and they were singing, "Proud of our boys. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be proud of our boys?" And he created Proud Boys as a joke based on that. Okay? If you're curious where the Proud Boys came from, that's where it came from. That's what the guy who created it says. And he's not a liar. Of all the things you might describe Gavin McInnes of, one thing he's definitely not is a liar. He's a savage intellect. He is completely deranged. He is not a liar. And he more or less said that Joe Hogan said, "Oh, isn't it surprising that Michelle Obama is articulate?" Okay, Joe, put down the banger. You've been smoking too much dope. She's articulate for what? A legal scholar? The first lady? right? It wasn't your finest moment, Joe. You're the coolest guy in the world. Everybody knows that. But once in a while, uh, you say really dumb things, and I suspect it might that we know why. What's tinnitus? Huh? Turn up the volume on the AC/DC. People give themselves tinnitus with loud music all the time. I know people, they got like a constant in their ear from listening to loud music. You had to. The reason that they made the music loud is so you'd drink more to dull the pain of the loud music. You know, at some point you got to look at your culture and say, yeah, we weren't wild and crazy. We were people that would stick our head beside a speaker and then dull the pain with alcohol. It wasn't. We weren't the geniuses that we thought we were. Uh, mm, Maybe that's good enough. I've got one really savage joke, and I don't know whether I want to say it, but no, I'm not going to say it. It's about Joe and Hunter Biden, both world class creeps, world class, admitted on tape, on video. You could see it all you want of it, and that donkey he hired to be vice president isn't going to tell us. So she's the most unsuited person, unpopular, unliked, unappealing uh, descendant of a slave owner that you could have possibly ever imagined. It was her father that said she's descended from a white slave owner. Okay, so okay, that's good enough, I think.